been a long road since the original kicker christened that first pickup truck. It kicked off a car audio renaissance, and upgrading your music in a vehicle was a requirement. America's music machines became living loud over your passion, your emotion, your existence. Outdoors or on the open road, your sound is kicker.
Hey guys, Cruz Pedregon here, coming to you from our race shop in Brownsburg, Indiana. I want to say thank you for checking out the Kicker Unmasked show. From speakers to their headphones, I've always been a huge fan of Kicker Audio because they like to live loud, just like our Nitro Funny Car. I'm very proud to be part of the family.
Oh, howdy. Delmar Hogwallop here, coming to you from outside Mildred's Bait Shop and Lingerie. Want to appreciate you all coming, giving a look-see in on the Kicker Unmasked show. Those folks at Kicker, salt of the earth, make some of the finest gear ever tickle your ear. So, mighty fine of you to come take some time off and check them out. And remember, whether you're looking for night crawlers or nighties, Mildred's is your place. So once again, hey, son, put down that armadillo and get some pants on. Oh, my Lord, kids.
Music is my passion, my livelihood, and it's in my DNA. My pals at Kicker Marine Audio gave me a chance to take the music, what I love and listen to, at home, on stage, and in the car, onto the water. Hi, this is Jason Bonham, and I want to say a big thank you to my friends at Kicker Audio for inspiring the songs and the stories behind the music that inspires America. Go overboard! This is your time.
The Kicker Quad Box is the most insane, ground-pounding, bass head-loving, preloaded subwoofer enclosure we have ever offered. It consists of 4 L7R 12-inch subwoofers. It has a total power handling of 2,400 watts RMS, and it's tuned at an amazing 31 hertz. Here to tell us more about it is Kicker's very own Jeremy Brown.
Hi, my name is Jeremy Brown. I've been with Kicker for 22 years. I work in the research and development department. In the early 2000s, I would run the Gates Bronco at shows like Daytona. We would do hair tricks, 48 10-inch subwoofers with 48 1,000 watt amplifiers. Really big build back in that day. We were able to develop some high output enclosures that were up above the 170 dB mark. We set a few world records with some of those enclosure designs and our woofers. We learned a lot about high output enclosure designs during that time, and we've been able to bring that to our product lines today. Within the last year, we introduced a new subwoofer enclosure with 4 L7R 12s that we call the Quad Box. Our Quad Box is built out of 3/4 inch birch. It's got a 1.5 inch baffle and a 1.5 inch bottom. We also use window frame bracing along with corner bracing to make the enclosure more rigid. We use a flared port to reduce port noise and increase port surface area. This type of vent design helps maximize output. We use the L7R 12-inch subwoofers because this allows you to use one KXA 2400.1 amplifier, and you still get big bass with fewer upgrades to your charging system. The Kicker Quad Box is the bass head starter kit, and if you're worried, it plays way below 40 hertz.
I'm Steve Irby. I'm the president and the founder of Kicker. Back in high school, I was playing in a rock and roll band and needed a bigger speaker for my keyboard. And I went to my dad and asked him for $300. I remember the newspaper kind of dropped and he says, is that something that we could build? 2 or 3 days later, he came home with a book on audio and it had plans for building speakers. We built a speaker enclosure and put an amp on it, and I played my keyboard through it, and it sounded really good. I graduated from college and went to grad school. I began to realize I don't want to be a sociologist, and decided that I was going to drop out of grad school and start a speaker company. I had about $12,000 that I had inherited from my grandparents. It seemed to make sense to use it to start a business. And so we bought woodworking tools, we bought plywood, and we got plans from the Alltech Lansing Company for building these big voice of the theater speakers that a lot of bands used. We started building those in the garage and just selling them to local bands. In 1980, a friend of mine contacted me and said that he had started a music store in Canton, Oklahoma, and there was a lot of guys that drove pickup trucks. I designed a speaker that fit just in the little wedge shape behind a seat in a single cab pickup truck and sent it over to him. And he called me back a few days later and, you know, the guys love this speaker, we need more, and you know what they call it? And I go, no, what do they call it? And he goes, well, they call it the ass kicker. Back in the early 2000s, we got involved primarily in motocross. We were looking for ways to market our product. We began using the tagline, living loud, and so motocross went right along with that. Arena cross was a natural fit for us, wanting to live loud with motorcycles and the people that enjoy watching that type of events. We're very excited to be involved with Arena Cross and where it's going today.
Do not attempt to adjust this transmission. We have assumed control.
The year is 1980. Music fights for its very survival in an acoustically desolate wasteland man calls automobile. Enter Steve Irby, a man whose love of music helped end this scourge forever and forge a path for modern car audio to follow. A humble musician with a passion for quality sound, Mr. Irby is a man who feels it is his destiny to provide a sanctuary for mobile audio. Welcome. Join us this evening as we venture back to the very night a young Steve Irby gains his inspiration to create the legacy we know today as Kicker Performance Audio. Though he does not realize it now, by this time tomorrow, Mr. Irby will have completed blueprints for the original Kicker and champion the war against mobile audio inequality. Tonight, Mr. Irby's prayers will be answered as he begins his quest into the Q Zone. Kicker L7QB8. With roots dating back to Kicker's inception, Mr. Irby and his team of engineers have achieved an unrivaled level of design and functionality. With extraordinary bass and a minimal footprint, the L7QB8 utilizes a seamless quarter-inch extruded aluminum housing, allowing optimal internal air volume for the subwoofer. This exclusive design provides exceptional strength and stability. Like the original Kicker, the L7 QB8 incorporates a unique passive radiator to minimize required airspace while optimizing the efficiency and frequency response of the subwoofer. Opposite the passive radiator, the L7 QB8 is equipped with the all-new 8-inch L7 square subwoofer. The 2016 L7 features an aluminum basket for exceptional strength and thinned aluminum heat sinks for efficient heat dissipation. Kicker's blue lace spider, solo cone 360-degree back bracing, and a laser-etched cone brace combine as a single ultra-rigid unit. The result is increased clarity, higher volume, and added reliability. The square cone features over 20% more surface area
Microphone
than
check,
round
microphone
subwoofer.
check,
It's
microphone check.
attached to a Santoprene surround, then stitched to the cone for long life and durability.
Hello.
This surround features Kicker's patented ribbed corners, which fully dictates cone motion and extends surround life. At the base of the unit, a pair of custom-formed flanges integrate seamlessly with an extremely low-profile mounting system, consisting simply of a mounting plate and bar. Once installed, the overall height of the enclosure is only 9.5 inches. This profile is small enough to work perfectly in countless trucks, sedans, and SUVs. Once again, Kicker sets a new standard with the groundbreaking design and unparalleled performance of the all-new L7 QB8.
Good evening, this is Aaron with the Kicker Tech Force. It must be Tuesday night, 7:30 Central, because we are live in the UnMasked studios. And tonight we have to use John Mayer's word, a plethora of guests. We're going to have one guest here in the studio, and then we're going to have a plethora of guests come in live through the StreamYard. So we're going to have an excellent show for you tonight. Hopefully you're all in, you got your popcorn, you got your beer, you're sitting down, you're comfortable, because this is going to be a slam jam show, because of course it's Slamology. We're going to spend a lot of time talking about Slamology with Donnie. So first up, who's here tonight? We have a very light staff. So when you see the camera switching, there's not actually a person doing that tonight. We don't have Tim, we don't have Amir, we've just got cameras that I'm staring at, and we got JW back there, we've got of course Ernie, and of course the Bill Frog. So we got a light crew tonight, but we are here to get it all done for you. So that is what we're having. We had a couple guests in the house for dinner. We had, of course, Texas Roadhouse again. We probably should do a poll. What should we have for dinner next week? Because we need some new ideas. If we didn't have all the darn construction on Perkins Road, we'd have more options that didn't take 4 hours to get here. But let's do a poll next week, what we should have for dinner. That aside, we want to talk about some winning stuff, right? Everybody here likes to win stuff, so let's talk about what we can win. Hey, Ernie, can you please turn on my laptop so we can talk about what we're winning? Now, we have our regular prizes that you guys and girls are accustomed to, but we're going to add a little tweak to it tonight. So, of course, the grand prize, as usual, is the Cush NC Bluetooth noise-canceling headphones. Now, with those Bluetooth Cush NCs, you also get an UnMasked t-shirt in the correct size, and of course, we also are going to give you a koozie. Now, in addition, Ernie, I need a picture-in-picture, because in addition, because it's Slamology, all things Slamology here tonight, I'm going to give you this hat. Ernie, can you show them that? There we go. We're going to give you one of these hats. So we've got 3 hats up here. So each winner tonight is going to get one of these Slamology hats to go with your kicker prizes. So again, the first grand prize winner, you get a Cush NC noise-canceling headphones. Second prize is the Tabor. The Tabor 2, they're not noise-canceling, but they're fantastic sound quality. And then you also, of course, get the UnMasked t-shirt, and you get the koozie. And then the third prize is the EB400 in-ear earbuds with the t-shirt and the koozie. And again, all 3 of those also get a Slamology hat. So we've got a little extra prizes here tonight. And of course, that's because our good friend Donnie is here from Slamology. He's actually in the green room right now finishing up dinner. I think he's got a massage on tap next. So he's going to be well relaxed before he gets on stage with us tonight. So that's what we're giving away. And we also want to talk about some events that are coming up. Ernie, can you? Yeah, thank you. So events tonight are not, well, obviously here tonight, so that's tonight's event. But after tonight, Saturday, what is that, coming up like 5 days? On Saturday in Guthrie, Oklahoma, we have the 2022 Midwest Jeep Fest. If you've never been to a Jeep Fest, these are fantastic events. Of course, it's not just about audio at a Jeep Fest event. There's certainly a lot of audio. But in addition, you get great Jeeps that are designed to climb boulders, climb houses, climb rocks, climb whatever they can. And these things are pretty amazing. We just came back from a Jeep event. I forget exactly where it was. But yes, so we've been doing quite a few of these. And then, of course, on Sunday, the very next day, you've got some Team Straight 8 bass on the beach. Now, this is probably not the same location, Guthrie, Oklahoma, because there's no beach in Guthrie, but I don't really know where it is, so you'll have to, oh wait, no, it is Bayou Division. So apparently it's down near Louisiana somewhere. But Team Straight Bass on the Beach is doing a Bass Wars event, so that's awesome to check that out. And then after that, go out to May 21st on Saturday, and that's the 8th annual Made of Steel show. And of course, that's another Bass Wars event. So plenty of Bass Wars coming up, and of course, we're going to talk about Bass Wars tonight. We've got Billy Temple on tap. He's going to be one of our guests talking about what makes Bass Wars unique. I learned this tonight at dinner, actually. Billy, with Bass Wars, he sort of has upped the game of the bass competition. And I don't want to say he's made it fun again, but he's made it, I guess, easier to get into. There's a lot of sanctioning bodies that are fantastic, and they've got great leadership, great competitors, and they're throwing up huge numbers. But if you just got out of high school, maybe you got your first real job, and maybe you've only got $1,000 to put together an audio system, you still want to be able to go out and check out what your system can do. And that's one of the nice things about Bass Wars. But we'll let Billy Temple talk more about that in a little bit. So those are the events coming up. I do want to do some share and tell. We've got some great picks that were sent in. Let me find my picture folder here. So we've got a retail partner called Crutchfield. Crutchfield has been an online retail partner. Actually, before they were online, before there was internet, they actually were doing catalogs. If you can imagine a catalog of audio stuff coming to your house way back in the late 80s, early 90s. And so we've got a partner who does retail sales for Crutchfield, and she sent me some pictures to share. She's actually got 2 different vehicles. Her name is Brooke, and if you go to crutchfield.com and you need a sales assistant, check out Brooke. She's fantastic. But I want to show you, she sent us a couple of really short videos. This is her brand new Ford Bronco. And now you're looking for the subwoofer. Ah, there it is. She's got a Hideaway HS10 subwoofer, amplified subwoofer in the back of her Bronco, and it is bolted to the back of the back seat. So she's losing no cargo space and still getting fantastic bass response. So that's pretty cool. Now here's her other truck. Brooke is amazing. Check out, this is her other K5 Blazer, and this one's also got a kicker system, but of course now she's got a TB10 loaded subwoofer, and then she's got a set of our 6.5-inch cans up in the roll cage. And she did tell me she likes to take the top off of the K5 Blazer, and that's why she decided to go with all waterproof components, because she likes to actually take the top off and enjoy it on the outdoor. We've got another picture here of the Bronco. So this is what it looks like, the way that she installed it back there. Now, if you've ever seen the new Bronco, the soft top version just folds back, and then you can actually push it back down behind you. And so it's got a great setup for top-down driving. And it only takes a couple of minutes, maybe even less, to take the top down. And then, of course, that was her loaded subwoofer. So that's a nice setup she's got going there. Then I want to show a couple of pictures. So we were calling this what not to do, but actually we found some pictures that I don't want to say they're what not to do because they're really pretty cool. I mean, check this out. Now this took me just a minute to figure out what I was looking at. Can you see what that is? Yes, that is what appears to be maybe a 15 or an 18-inch subwoofer that clearly the coil got shucked and burned up. And so they just cut it out and made a sun hat out of it. So that's pretty innovative use of a blown up subwoofer. So I wouldn't call it what not to do. I would call it a very interesting use of a subwoofer. So let's take a look at the next one here. This one, okay, so yeah, this is under the category of what not to do. So let me zoom in just a little bit. You can see this jug here on the left. I think that is laundry detergent, perhaps? Or either that or maybe it's drinkable water, I'm not sure. But you've got a 6x9 loaded into this jug, and then you've got the speaker wire coming up here through the lid, through the top here, running down, and then it looks like it's tied into the second jug. Now this jug looks like maybe it's orange juice or something completely different, but you can see here that it appears there's not actually any screw holes holding these speakers into these jugs. Now, if you look closely, you look at the back shape of this window, I think this car is probably a Volkswagen Beetle, maybe a late 60s, early 70s model. And check out here, they've got this baffle board, this perfectly sealed baffle board. They simply could have cut holes in the baffle, dropped the 6x9s down in the baffle, and had a fantastic bass and high-end sound system. If you've never heard 6x9s done in a free air application, something like this, you can get fantastic sub bass out of 6x9s when done properly. So that's an interesting setup. Wouldn't recommend it. If you're watching, I apologize. I just wanted to show something kind of silly, a little bit goofy. And the third one to share with you tonight, this is just awesome. Ernie and I were talking about this earlier in my office, and this actually reminds us of a marketing campaign from a company that goes by Lightning Audio. So way back in probably the mid-90s, maybe late 90s, there was a company called Lightning Audio. I think they're still around today, actually, different situation, but they had, in their marketing campaign, they had a guy who was held up off the floor with hooks, metal hooks running through his back and his shoulders, holding him up off the ground. And it was real. This wasn't imagery. This was for real. They actually hung this dude up in the air on hooks. And yes, he was alive, but giant fish hooks. And it was a memorable marketing campaign because here we are talking about it 15, 20 years later. So that's what this reminds me of. If you Google, actually, if you just Google Lightning Audio, man hanging from hooks, I'm sure you'll find the images. But this is really a cool setup. As Ernie pointed out, the subwoofer is decoupled from the floor. So this guy went to extreme lengths to decouple the subwoofer from the vehicle. And I bet it sounds pretty good. So yeah, this is not really what not to do, but hey, this guy girl went to a lot of effort to make an awesome subwoofer system. So that wraps us up for images. Now we want to talk a little bit about some tech support questions. So Jacob sent me some great tech support questions. I'm going to pull them up here. And as I've told you before, these guys, they get a lot of questions every day, literally every day. They get emails and phone calls, about 90 per guy, and there's 4 guys up there, 90 phone calls / emails per day for these guys. So they've got tons of things to talk about. And so we pulled out a couple to talk about tonight. So here's the scenario. I installed a new Comp Q12 subwoofer in a ported enclosure, and I'm powering it with a CXA 801. Plenty of power for that subwoofer. I set the gain following a procedure with 50 Hertz test tones, good, and a multimeter. I'm assuming that you were using the sine wave and then measuring the AC voltage coming out of the amplifier. You didn't mention here if you use the 0, -5, or -10 dB. That makes a huge difference depending on which test tone you use, because at 50 Hertz there's 3, 0, -5, -10. The difference is when you go to -5, you're allowing a bit of distortion, a bit of amplifier clipping, because it'll make the subwoofer play louder. And in subwoofers, you don't hear distortion like you do in mids and highs, so it really doesn't hurt anything sonically. If you go to -10, now you're letting the subwoofer play considerably louder than the rest of the system that's properly tuned, of course, but you're getting quite a bit more distortion, amplifier clipping. So I'm just going to assume that you knew which one you're using. Maybe you -10. I use -10 on my own subwoofer systems. So -10, so you're getting quite a bit more than the rated power out of the amplifier when you're doing that at full tilt. He goes on to say, I noticed that after playing it for a minute, I start to smell something like hot electronics. I know that smell. Is this a bad sign? Probably what's happening. If the subwoofer is new and you've set the gain to a -10 dB overlap, you're probably actually heating up the voice coil, and what you're actually smelling is the glue, the bond that's holding that voice coil onto the former. So if you smell that once in a while, it's fine, nothing's going to happen. But if you continue to smell it, you smell it all the time, you're about to have subwoofer failure. So I would check that gain again, make sure you're using the proper overlap. And if you set your gain and then you set bass boost, you have to go back and reduce the gain so you're not overcompensating gain and bass boost and getting too much distortion out of the amplifier. And the simple way to do that is just use your multimeter set to AC volts again. After you properly set your gain, start turning up your bass boost and watch. Your voltage is going to continue to go up. So then go back to your gain, turn the gain down till the voltage goes back down to your proper target. And that's how you properly set it. Second question, I accidentally reversed the power and ground wires on my new CXA 801. I've done this. So basically you've got your power and your ground coming in the amplifier and you hook them up backwards. I have done this, I promise. So this is bad. It immediately blew the 100 amp fuse going to the battery. So I quickly disconnected the wires from the amp and put them in the correct locations. I replaced the fuse as well. The amplifier will not turn on. What could be wrong? I'll tell you exactly what's wrong. Inside the amplifier, there is a diode. A diode is a one-way valve for electricity. When you hook up power and ground backwards, that valve, that diode, pops inside the amplifier to protect the rest of the amplifier from catastrophic failure. Because your amplifier is new, it should still be under warranty, assuming you bought it through an authorized Kicker retail partner. So simply contact customer service and say, hey, this is what happened, and it is under warranty. We'll take care of it for you. Question 3. I have one of the original round Solobaric subwoofers from the 90s. Recently, it started making a scraping sound as I listen to music. That scraping sound is telltale. Probably the voice coil is rubbing against the pole piece as it's moving in and out. I think the subwoofer is done for. Yep, it's done for. Do you guys have a current equivalent to the old original Solobarics that I could replace it with? Of course we do. Now there's a few things left out of the question. The box size. If it's a really small box, like the original Solobaric, like really small boxes, then you're going to want to use something like a CVX or a Comp Q. CVX and CompQ round subwoofers are designed for small sealed enclosures, and they will take a ton of power and give you fantastic bass. If you've got a more modest amplifier, or you're going to keep the same amplifier you already have, but maybe it's a smaller, maybe it's 500, 600 watts, then you might want to go to more of a Comp R or a CVR. Those subwoofers require a little bit larger enclosure, but they don't take quite as much power as well. So there's I guess that's 4 recommendations that I would have for that scenario. All right, that is what we have for the questions. We are going to speed along here because we have so many guests tonight. I'm going to get rid of that and let's move on. If you do have questions, I forgot to mention this, and you want to have those questions answered by a Kicker tech support specialist, support@kicker.com, support@kicker.com. That's where you can send your questions, and if it's a great question, it might even get read on the air on a Tuesday night. So that's how you get a hold of us. Of course, like us and subscribe us on Facebook and YouTube. Like us and subscribe on both if you don't mind. That helps us reach to more people. So without further ado, and I'm not really sure what that means, but without further ado, I'm going to bring in Donnie. Donnie's in the green room. He's hustling now because I didn't give him enough warning, but he is coming on stage. Donnie, come over here.
All right.
Let's bring you on to the UnMasked studio.
Hey, thank you for having me. Thank you.
It's good to have you. Have a seat here.
All right.
Got you some water. We got you a massage.
I do, the massage and
steak dinner.
I was on the first plane at 4. I was at the airport at 4 o'clock this morning. We haven't stopped since, and a few things I've learned since I've been here at Kicker.
Yeah, good.
Can't eat the steak with a plastic fork, I think.
Plastic fork, yeah.
I think we can all, we can all say agree to that. And
yes.
The coffee's way too strong.
The coffee's too strong.
My
the forks
first trip to Oklahoma.
So coffee's too strong, forks are too weak.
Right. So if anybody ever gets the opportunity to come to Kicker, bring a fork. Do not drink the coffee.
Stop at a
Do
gas
not let
station.
Ernie make you a cup of that coffee. Like it's.
Go to the gas station and get coffee.
Right. That's an international coffee being flown in. We're not going to talk about that because it's too much. Awesome. Well, thank you for having me tonight. I'm ecstatic. Slamology, we're going in our 19th year. I don't even know where to begin. Like, I would have never imagined 19 yeyears ago when we started this little car show to reach out to our customers at Gauge Magazine that we would grow to the size of the event that we are now. I mean, it blows my mind. Over 2,000 cars,
wow.
20,000 spectators through the gate, custom semi show, largest car stereo contest anywhere.
Largest car stereo contest.
So we've been told by multiple people it's the largest in the world. I guess there's no way to actually say, it's the largest in the world, but I'd love to compare our numbers to anybody else because there's nobody doing what we're doing.
So roughly how many cars in the car stereo portion?
In the car stereo portion, last year we had around 1,000 cars.
Okay.
And then about 1,000 cars in the show and the car show side as well.
Wow.
So it's a 50-50 split, which in the audio side, we have 4 organizations that all come out and compete in the lanes. And then we have the demo guys, which that's kind of a new thing. And I think Slamology's really started to kind of introduce the demo guys. And it's really everybody stands in line to take a ride in your car. And
wait, back up. So when you say demo guys, you mean you can get in the car and listen?
Correct.
Oh.
Yeah, and these are guys with 12, 15 saying, come in my car, videotape yourself, see if you don't tap out. And it's been huge on YouTube. It's been huge all over Facebook, Instagram, everywhere. So it's really kind of helped to take our show to that next level with the demos, and then along with the audio organizations. And this year we're going to have 4. We have Iasca, we have Mecca, we have Usaki, and then Bass Wars, which we're going to talk to Billy later about Bass Wars. So just a really good time in the car audio world. And then the custom semi show, as you come into the show, every one of these custom semis are full of audio as well. So it's as soon as you come in, and when Kevin comes on tonight and he talks about the show, and he's going to show us a little bit of his truck and what they've got going on. They've built an enclosure for this semi that is, it's unbelievable. We'll just let him show that here later. And as you work your way around the show, you come around to the car show side of it, and then we have everything: hot rods, mini trucks, lowriders, 4x4s, custom motorcycles. Everything under the sun, contraptions, everything else.
And where is this event? Where does this happen?
This is at Oil Raceway in Indianapolis, Indiana. So we engulf 240 acres of nothing of this racetrack. So, and we don't use the drag strip. That has, still to this day, we've never used the drag strip because the way it works is we have a 1 mile cruise lane. So if you're at the show and you want to just park your car and hang out all day, that's great. Or if you want to get in and drive your car around, we have a 1 mile cruise lane that's bumper to bumper all day long. When you're on the audio side of the show, you can play your car stereo, you can do whatever you want. You come around to the car show side, you turn your music down, you respect the car show guys.
Of course.
Right.
So you've actually got a nice, healthy separation. The guys that just want to look at cars and talk about cars, they can do that.
Correct.
And then the guys that want to bang bass are over here.
Correct. And
So
they're split by NHRA Nationals drag strip on bleachers on both sides. So years ago with Slamology, it's kind of something we've had a problem re-educating people with is, as the show grew, we didn't have the money to rent the entire facility at that time. So now we've got enough support and enough people behind us that we can rent the entire facility. Now we have it separated into audio and car show. And at the car show, we have the live music festival on the main stage up front as well. So when you're in the car show side, I've always said it's like the movies Cars going to Bonnaroo, because you literally park your car in front of the stage and we put them in rows and everybody hangs out and they have a good time. And then the cruise lane comes around and goes right past there.
What kind of acts or bands do you have playing on the stage?
Well, Rob Snodgrass is going to come on tonight and he's going to tell us about all of that. He's our stage manager.
So I won't take it away from Rob.
No, we're going to take it away from Rob, but every year, so what our music festival is we are an Indiana music festival. So we focus solely on Indiana musicians or Indiana roots. There's a few guys we got coming from Chicago this year, but they all started in Indiana and ended up in Chicago. So it's kind of, music careers kind of sometimes take you away from Indiana. But either way, we're an all Indiana music festival, and we've stuck to that for all 19 years, and it's really helped us. And our headliners are always people in Indiana that are really doing something to change the game. So I think everybody will be excited tonight when we announce, the guy that's coming up, because he's had some opportunities that a lot of Indiana musicians don't get to receive. And there's some other cool things we have going on. Bikini Contest, which is always a crowd favorite. That's Saturday. That's Saturday at 6 p.m. It's towards the end of the day. We're a family-friendly event, so get your kids out about 5:45. And it's not that bad. It's not a trashy bikini contest, but we have a good time with it. And then on Sunday, we have a tattoo contest as well. And it's, I want to clarify that it's not, hey, we're doing tattoos at the show and you get a tattoo contest. It's put on by Steel Rod Tattoo, a local tattoo shop in our town. And what it is, hey, I've got this arm piece and it's great, but I never get a chance to show it off. I've got my Impala here, or I've got airbags, or I've got a big bass speaker on my back, whatever. Nobody ever gets to show it off. You never get to compete. So we came up with this concept about 9 years ago on the event and said, hey, let's do a tattoo contest and just have guys compete for awards just like they're at the car show. So it's basically a body car show at Slamology. So
Donnie, I got to tell you, I was down in Colombia a few years ago doing a training tour for Kicker. And I had this great audience. There's 60, 70 guys in the audience. And at the halftime, we took a little break from doing the training. And 6 or 7 guys came up, and I don't speak Spanish, and their English was kind of rough. But through the translator, they said, hey, we want to show you our tattoos. Like, okay, I'll see. This guy pulls up his shirt, and he's got this giant Hummer tattooed with a Kicker system and the Kicker logo. Like, oh my God, and it's not a rub-off, it's real.
Right, it's a real deal.
And then the other 5 guys are all like showing off their Kicker logo. I'm like, oh my God, this is incredible.
Oh, that's amazing.
That was a great show.
And we see a lot of that. About 5 years ago, I had a guy approach me at our show, and he showed me his arm, and it's the first time I'd seen a Gauge magazine logo ever on it. And I didn't even get my first tattoo till this year, just over my son's break this year. He's like, Dad, I want a tattoo. And I was like, I'll get one with you. So I've never been, a big ink guy, and I appreciate the art, but I've just never been that guy to get it. So pretty awesome. And I saw a whole Gauge magazine on his arm, and I just blew my mind. It's cool.
You mentioned Gauge magazine a couple times. Some of our folks in our audience may not know what that is.
Oh, okay.
What is Gauge magazine?
So GaugeMagazine.com, actually, we've been doing it 23 years online. Wow. So we were the first original, ready to go automotive magazine online. So every month we do a monthly issue, and we've been doing a monthly issue every year for 23 years solid.
Wow.
Yeah, January of '99 is when we released our first issue. So that's prior to Google. It was AOL and Netscape had just came out. Right. So that's how we started doing what we do, and we Gauge Magazine, and then Slamology was just another great event in Indianapolis to reach out to our readers. And since that time, it's just we just continue to grow and grow and grow.
You've been with Gauge since the beginning, and Slamology since the beginning.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah. So I'm the founder of Gauge Magazine, and then I'm also the founder of Slamology. And I had 4 key guys that came in with me on Slamology, and we all started and focused on it. And since that time, I've had one of them passed away, a few other of them left, family, that kind of stuff, which left me as the only Stanley one again. So here I am, and I could not be more blessed because it takes 65 people for us to run this event.
Wow.
And over 50% of my staff has been with me for 19 years.
That's incredible.
Which is incredible.
Yes,
and the rest of the staff has been there almost 10 years or more. So I am completely blessed with the staff and the people that they feel the passion and they know Slamology like I do, and they love to see it grow and they love to see us to continue to do what we do.
When they show up, they know what to do, and they do it.
Correct.
So you know that it's all getting done the way it needs to be done.
Correct.
So
Correct.
that's
Yeah. No. And my
incredible.
my guys that have been there 19 years, I'm pretty confident they show they don't need me at all.
You can stay home.
Right. I'm gonna come to the kicker booth for more of that coffee all day.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
So now, when I think of gauge, I think wire gauge and I think ear gauge.
Right.
What gauge are we talking about?
So when we were putting the magazine together, my wife and I were looking for a name. I was an operations manager for a huge logistics company, and I was traveling all over the country, and I was a car guy. I've always been a car guy. I built Mini Truck that was on the cover of Mini Truck and Magazine. That was like my inspiration that got me going. And we were in a gas station one night. This is so crazy. We walked in a gas station and we were getting our 44-ounce fountain drinks. We've been addicted to those for over 30 years. So we were getting our drinks, and we were trying to come up with a name for a company name or a name for the magazine that would be all-encompassing to anything automotive.
Okay.
And there was a kid's thing in there that said, "Hey, donate to Gauge." And this is terrible. I don't even know his last name. And my wife looked at me and she said, "Gauge Magazine." There it is. And I was like, no kidding. And it's crazy because it gives me chills talking about it. But she said, "Gauge Magazine," there it is. And 3 days later, I filed for copyright and everything for GaugeMagazine.com, filed the URL, and we did our first flyer, and off to press we went, and we've just been going nonstop ever since.
So it has nothing to do with speaker gauge, wire gauge, nothing.
Absolutely not.
It's a guy's name.
It's a guy's name, but it's a gauge because everything that's automotive has a gauge in it. So you got imports, hot rods, 4x4s, lowriders.
Yeah,
everything's got a gauge in it. So our first logo was that gauge that's all pegged out with a gauge and the G. And I've watched so many people imitate that logo, and I just laugh. I'm like, I designed that logo in '99. You might have changed it a little bit, but that come right off my desk. Yeah, that come right off my desk 23 years ago. So we laugh about it, and it's awesome. And that our magazine has grown to about 600,000 readers a month.
Wow.
Yeah, and we got just under 3 million followers on Facebook.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, it just,
and no print magazine, all online.
Well, so what we do is we do a digital flip book every month. So when you come to the magazine, you can go through a digital flip book, and then you can buy a hard copy of that magazine as well if you want to buy one. And when we were doing that, it's a 100-page magazine every month. And I said, I don't want a cheap magazine. I don't want cheap paper feel. I don't want anything that's generic. So we did cover, stock, bound all the way through. It's $30 a copy. You're buying a tabletop book every time you buy that issue. So and we still sell 500 to 600 of them a month sometimes.
That's amazing.
On big issues like our Slamology issue, SEMA issue, that type of
people
stuff.
People want to frame it.
Right. People,
keep a memento.
Frame it, keep it, tabletop books, that type of stuff. Yeah. So it's awesome. And then we do a blog, and then we have blogs every day. And we still have to play the internet SEO game because digital flip books, there's no way to do any SEO tricks. So we still have to we still have to play the internet game on that stuff as well. But it's exciting. I'm truly blessed, and I can't believe that I'm even sitting here 23 years later. Like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm at Kicker. I can't believe I'm in Stillwater.
Yeah.
I've had a relationship with Kicker since I was in high school, and have always known somebody from the company, or Kicker sponsored one of my first bills.
Let's
I was
talk
on this.
about that.
Okay.
Your first aftermarket audio system. What was it?
Are you talking competitively, or are you talking?
Just like, so you're 16 years old. You got your first car, and you're turning wrenches. And
okay, so my parents, they're gonna kill me. So
that's okay.
You know those stories. You know those stories you're never supposed to tell. Right?
Yes.
So my parents had an '86 Chevy van, and my dad had a CB in it, and I wanted to do like a amplifier and speakers and blah, 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 blah. And it was our family camping van, and he had a car that he drove to work. Well, I got my license. It was a 3 on the tree. They're like, yeah, you could drive this because you and your buddies are never going to get hurt in it. And I was like, okay, cool, no worries. So my friend 2 doors down, my dad had bought this little pyramid push-button amplifier that he had power in 2 6x9s in the back. And this was my first lesson in positive and negative.
Okay.
Drove it to school. My buddies, we went to his house. We took his parents' box speakers out of their home system, took them, strapped them in the van, positive, negative, ran 100 watts to them, and we drove around and jammed and played Easy-E.
Easy-E,
yes.
oh God. We can't even think about the lyrics to Easy-E.
No, not at all. My mom heard us in the driveway.
Oh no.
Came out, wanted to know, where did we get this tape? She's like, where did you buy this tape? And I was like, well, we bought it at the mall. And she's like, you're 16 years old. You should not hear this profanity. I can't believe what they're saying. Get it and get in my car. And she took me to the music store and made me return this to the guy that I bought it from. And she stood there and she turned him into something else. And oh my goodness, yeah, funny story. So either way, that's so many moons ago.
Easy-E.
But yeah.
Google Easy-E. And make sure mom and dad aren't listening.
Right. But shortly after that, my parents came to a grip and they said, we had a little car stereo shop around the corner. My dad told me, he's like, man, you're so interested in this stuff. You should really just go up and ask if you can sweep the floors.
Yeah.
And I was like, really? And he's like, you'll learn something there.
Yeah.
And I did. So I went up and I met the owner, Jay, and the name of the shop was Audio Bar. And I started sweeping floors. I went from sweeping floors to sales to helping with installs to... From there, I left there and then went into logistics because I'd graduated high school and I needed to make more money.
Yeah,
and during that time, we'd put this little team audio barn together, and my buddy David and I kind of traveled some different stuff. And in that time, I met Bart from the Kicker. He still works
Bart,
here.
my boss.
Yeah,
hey,
you're Boris, right? I had met Bart during that time. And
now, Bart, who was he with when you met him? Was he at Rockford?
No, he was our Kicker rep. So,
he was Kicker, okay.
Yeah, so Kevin Houston was our actual sales guy. He worked for a company named Foster Marketing. And then Bart had flown into town, and I got to meet Bart, and man, we hit it off from that day. And like, seriously, here we are 30 some years later, and I still know Bart. I mean, that whole relationship's been open from a relationship that I met him when I was 19 years old. And I tell my son all the time, and I brought him on the trip. Obviously, you got to meet him earlier, but I tell him all the time, like, life, you never know what relationships are going to do that. And Kicker's not the only relationship at Slamology that I have of people that I've met over those years. Airlift Performance, Ride Tech, a lot of the car show guys that I deal with, the gauge side of our company. I've got long-term relationships with all those guys too, and I might have met them a little more in my 20s when I was more of a car kid, but a lot of those, I mean, it's still the same thing.
Still the relationship.
It's kind of we're all kind of paying our dues. We're kind of the old men in the industry now, I guess.
I know.
I'm hiding mine. No, I'm hiding mine.
This is real gray. I didn't paint this gray.
Yeah, right. I would have had to spray mine back red today, so I cut it real short and hide mine for this episode.
Well, we could just keep chatting.
Yeah,
we
could for sure.
We got guests who are waiting, so I got to get this earpiece worked out here. So we've got our first guest, Kevin Holt. Do you want to set up Kevin Holt a little bit before we bring him in?
Yeah.
Who is Kevin?
So Kevin is the head judge of the car show side of Slamology. So what Kevin's responsibility is he works hand in hand with the judges at the show, and he makes sure that the cars get judged and that they get put into our speed judge software. Over the years, we've been working with a developer, and he's developed a software called Speed Judge, and now he resells it. But what we do is it takes care of all the hard work for us. It forms it out, puts it first, second, third. We can move the stuff around.
Yeah.
We can go back and look at pictures. We can scan QR codes on the vehicles. So everything is digitally tracked all the way through from our system, from the second you come in as a car show participant till the second you come to the award ceremony. We can track your progress all the way through what you've done with us. Obviously, we can't track your cruising or any of that stuff, but we know what time you came through judging, what time the picture was taken of your car, if there's any mishaps, whatever, and then we can put notes, say, hey, I'm eligible for best interior, you're eligible for best of show. So we'll let Kevin talk more about that and let him really get into that.
Kevin, can we bring in Kevin? Ernie, can we bring in Kevin? And I got some pictures we got to pull up here too, so let me
for sure.
Get to the images. Hey Ernie, you awake back there?
He needs some more coffee.
Pour yourself some more, Ernie.
Can you guys hear me?
Oh,
Yep. Hold on. We got technical difficulties.
Oh, there-
Hey. What's up, Chris?
What's up?
Hey, this is Kevin. He is our head judge at Slamology. He's the guy that takes care of everybody. So he's kind of the man. Hey, Kevin, go ahead and introduce yourself, man, and tell everybody about what you do at the show and what you expect, or what people should expect as they come to drive-through judging. And yeah, you take it and run with it, man.
All right. Well, basically, like Donnie said, I'm the head judge. I inherited that from our lovely Ricky years ago. But basically, what we do there is we are on the car show side, technically, but you see the judges from the first day you come into the show and when they meet you at the gate to go in the registration and classing and so forth. But so what we do is we have the car show side and the audio side. But if you enter the Slamology show, either side, you can run your car through judging. So we do have some of the audio guys that actually run their competitive car audio systems through the judging in different classes as well. And that's fun to see because that's my history in the car industry is the old car audio stuff. But so with that being said, we have 65 classes. I think we did 65 classes last year. We have 65 classes this year. So basically what that breaks down to is it's not a best 25 or best 50 or best 100 cars. We actually judge each car in its class. So S10s from, early S10 square bodies are competing against early S10 square bodies. So as you go through all those classes, you have what's called mild and wild. And what happens there is if you do a lot of modifications to your car, let's say your air ride, rims, swapping out a 4-cylinder for a V8, or complete body modifications, it puts you in a different style of class than if you have a pretty stock car that has a paint job and an audio system and some rims. It's two different vehicles when you go through judging and what you look at. So we have mild and wild of several different, classes of vehicles, break down domestic, import cars. Mostly, we probably have the most classes for trucks because we love mini trucks, but
we do all kind of come from mini trucks.
We all used to own mini trucks. So
right. Some of us still do.
Yeah, low lumber out there. So by doing that, we and Donnie graciously every year presents trophies for all the classes for classes 1 through 3, or places 1 through 3. Now with our speed judging system, as we go judging the cars, we break it down into several categories within each one. So as the vehicle comes into the drive-through judging lanes, which is another thing I'll hit on in a second, but as it's judged, it gets a score. So as we score all the vehicles, we have ties sometimes. So Donnie always gives out tons of trophies. He's known.
It's not me. It's the show. 65 classes and three awards in each class. That's a lot, right? It truly is.
Wow.
And then some of the audio organizations too. They give away hundreds of trophies.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it's cool. And we always this year we have growlers. They're custom printed growlers. Incriminator sponsors all of our awards, and they're amazing. They're so cool, and that's. I don't think I sent any. I don't know if I sent any.
We got pictures.
Yes, I haven't released any of those.
I should have been showing pictures while you were talking.
Does Ernie have? Has he got to turn your monitor on?
Yeah, Ernie, can you put our pictures up while we're talking to Kevin? We've got some beautiful cars to show, much prettier than we are to look at here.
Right.
Yeah, so that's one of the a wild class, but that's like a custom street mod. That's one of Wargo's cars, but
beautiful.
Yep, and that's custom
Woody
and all that stuff. But what's cool is you can see in a lot of these pictures too is people are
there's a picture of the award.
So
there you go.
When they want to go into judging, they just drive through the judging lanes, which is off the main drag. So, which is kind of unique, is where our judges don't go walking around the show all day. So if you want your car judged, you just drive over to judging when you have a free moment, and you can drive through the judging. And there's a lane for trucks and a lane for cars, and you go through the judging.
So I have a question for you, Kevin.
Sure.
You've been doing this a lot of years, as I've been hearing tonight. And so every year there must be a certain number of new vehicles. Like this is the first time you've seen it, and
Yep.
I'm sure there's a lot of guys and girls that you see every year.
Oh, yeah.
So roughly, how many new people would you see in a year? Like 1%, 10%, 20%?
It really depends, but usually it's about 5 to 7%. I think of what goes through judging has never been seen there before.
Okay.
But with that being said, we do have what's called a new debut award, or new to the show, or never been shown at any other show ever.
Yeah.
So it's best debut award, and we have several specialty awards with that too. But like, to get to your point, sometimes you're blown away. I mean, you hear guys talking about this car they're building in their garage or whatever, or their buddy at their shop is building this car or truck or motorcycle. And then they show up to Slamology. No one's ever seen this in the crowd that just goes around these cars when they basically unveil them like SEMA. But it's and there's some crazy stuff that just, like, even when I was building trucks, you're like, I didn't think of that. But
You're right.
Well, and it's nice to hear that, Kevin, because as a first-time competitor, it can be a little intimidating to go to a show of that magnitude, because you don't want to feel like, well, my stuff is kind of weak. I don't even want to show it. But if you've got a group of guys and girls that are first-time showers and you kind of highlight them, it sort of takes away some of that intimidation that I'm going to be judged against the best of the best right off the first time I'm doing this. So that's good to hear.
Right. It's definitely not that. It's amateur through pro, is the best way to put it.
Yeah, because we all had to start somewhere.
Oh, yeah. And what's really cool is that the judges we got several judges that have been doing this for a really long time. So we got guys, and what it's really fun is when they come through judging lanes. I mean, basically the way you show your car, here's a competitor tip, is you need to tell a judge everything you've done to this car, everything you want to do to this car, and, make sure it's super clean and bring it through. And then the judge is going to ask you questions, but he doesn't know what you've done unless you tell him what you've done. And that leads to a lot of other things like education, or, they ask a bunch of questions and the judge will be like, if you did it, here's one idea that you can do, and this will better the vehicle, or something you can do on your own, or here's a trick that we've done in the past, or what can make it better for next year.
Kevin, I paused on a picture here. There's a sign that reads "No loud stereo zone."
Yep.
This is an interesting point, because, of course, most of the guys and girls that watch this we're into bass, loud stereos. Why do we have a no loud stereo zone? What's that about?
Well, it's at several places in the show. So that's actually in the cruising lane when you're coming out of the audio section into the car show, and that's just respecting the guys that are there to be with their families, walk around, look at cars, talk about cars. But that also goes into, we have several signs when you come into the judging lanes. Now, when you have drive-through judging, everybody wants to wait in line, get their car judged, and they want to jam out.
Sure.
Or shoot, honk their train horns, which is another thing. But
don't do that.
But we're guilty. And also we're under the bleachers for the drag strip, so it kind of echoes.
Yes.
But we can't, as you as a competitor, if you're doing that in the judging lane, we can't have a conversation with the guy showing his car getting judged of what he's done to the car and what he wants judged. So by the time they get up there and they're trying to tell us what they're doing, their buddy's 3 or 4 cars back doing the same thing they were doing, and you can't hear anything. So it's kind of more respect of a thing. Just if you want your car,
that's great.
We got to be able to hear what you're saying.
We have this unwritten rule in our industry. It's don't base where you live.
Right.
You don't drive through your neighborhood banging your system at 160 dB because you got neighbors.
Right.
This is the same thing.
And you don't want them to know where you work.
They all know where I work.
Right.
But, yeah, so hey, I've been remiss. We've got a bunch of questions. Can you hang out for just a minute, Kevin? We've got a couple of questions. I want to throw up a question before I get too far into this. So what's our first question, Ernie? How do vehicles that aren't finished and might not run yet get judged? That's a great question.
That is a good question. Unfinished class. Go ahead.
We actually have an under construction class, and so that ranges anywhere from a rolling chassis to a car that runs that it is in primer, and then we have a car and a truck class. So I think over the years we've seen everything you can think of come through under construction. So if it runs or if it rolls, then you can bring it through judging, and you want to show what you've done. It's definitely open for everybody.
So here's a pro tip. First tell the judge what you have done, then what you're going to do.
Right. Well, and I judged for years and years. Yeah. So when you go, like a judge doesn't know every car and every single modification on the planet.
Yeah.
If you don't point out that, hey, I shaved the drip rails off this.
I don't know that.
Like, man, I don't have an 87 Honda Civic. I don't know that. I built a Mazda truck, so I don't know that. Now, for, every truck I've done. So, every year our judges learn more and more and more and more. But you've got to let people know what you've done. And same way with stereo stuff.
Let's do another question. We got, what is considered a modified car or truck? Valerie, that's 2 for you.
Right, and I could probably answer that one just as easy because I have to deal with that every day.
Go ahead.
Every day at the office. So when we have Slamology, when you come to pre-registration, and I want to step on pre-registration for just a second. Until May 27th, $50. After May 27th, it is $70 at the show. So go to Slamology.com, click on the pre-register button, and save yourself $20.
$20,
It includes driver, passenger, and your vehicle for the weekend. Your modified vehicle. Don't enter your mom's minivan, and don't bring 10 of your buddies to come and cruise around the show all weekend. That's what our judges do. As soon as you come to the show, they're going to inspect your vehicle. And they're not inspecting your vehicle to say, oh, do you got drugs in there, blah, blah, blah. That's no. We want to know, hey, you're an audio build. You don't have just a set of 6.5s in here, or hey, you're in mom's minivan, you're going to try to trick us into this. Not at all. We're going to send you to this. We're going to hand you your 2 tickets. You're not getting a ticket for your car to get in. And online, you have to agree to that. And then in the car show side of it, like an amateur mild class might be a guy that has lifted his truck and put some wheels on it, or he's lowered his car and he's put some wheels on it. He's got a new head unit. He's doing a few things like that. Enough modifications for us to say, you're interested in the sport, you're an amateur, and your car's clean, it's pretty, it looks good. Or on an audio vehicle, please, audio guys. That's a whole other show. I'm coming back and we're going to have a whole episode about washing your car. We're going to have a whole detailed lesson, and we'll figure it out. But and with the audio guys, 112 in your stock stereo is not considered a custom vehicle. We want builds here. It's a show. It's just here. If you got 112 and a couple speakers, go to the spectator lot. Come support our vendors, support our sponsors.
Get some ideas.
Build your system, and come back the following year. Right. We're going to be so limited on space, and we don't want to be one of those shows where we have to say, I can't take any more than 3,000 vehicles. So now it's going to be the first 3,000 vehicles, and we're done. So we don't want to end up in that situation. So
culling is hard, but it's got to be
right. If you're questioning if your car is a stereo build big enough, or if the car is custom enough to be in the show, you're probably not what we're looking for. And I don't want anybody to take that the wrong way, because we don't want to discourage you. But come to the spectator gate. It's $10 per ticket to get in, and it's free parking on Slamology.com. So $10 ticket, you can come and enjoy it all, get demos, walk around the car show, do your thing. But we're really trying to push the custom and the build side of it, because eventually we're going to run out of room, and we don't want to run out of room and then have to turn around and kick people out, or make it pre-approved type stuff.
Let's do one more question with Kevin, and then we'll move on to our next guest. Next question. Valerie again. That's the cost end of the show. Is this your wife?
No. I know Valerie. She's been good friends of our company and stuff for a lot of years. So either way, cost end of the show, $65 $60 pre-reg, or $50 pre-reg at coffee, $50 pre-reg, $70 day of show until May 27th. That includes driver, passenger, and your vehicle. You can add additional weekend passes only at pre-registration for $10 for a weekend pass. So, and kids 10 and under are free. So if you're bringing the family out and your kids are under 10, no big deal. If you got a 15-year-old, you can pay $10 and save $5 off the weekend pass. If you wait to add those passes on, and when you get the registration, you're like, oh, I meant to add those passes, we're going to cost you $15. So just be ready for that, when you get there.
Thanks, Valerie. That's 3 in a row.
Yeah, thank you, Valerie.
All right, Kevin, thank you for being here. We do appreciate your time tonight.
We appreciate it.
Did I say his name?
See you guys.
Okay, so we've got a chance to reset the system. So please, hang on, put that in, and we're back. Thank you for your patience. What happened? We are live. There we are. Thank you. Microphone check. Microphone check. Can you hear Aaron? Aaron's talking. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being patient. We apologize for that. Critical update. Thank you, Windows. Apparently that's what forced us out tonight. So Donnie had to hit the little boys' room. He'll be right back. But our next guest is going to be Dave Mattingly. Dave is with Latest Craze Car Club. Dave, get yourself ready. Oh, yeah, there's Dave. Let's go ahead and bring Dave in, and we'll meet Dave. Hey, Dave. Hello and
How's
welcome.
it going?
We're doing great, and thank you for being patient with us tonight. We apologize for that slight delay. But Donnie had to step out the little boys' room. He'll be right back. But tell us, what is your part of Slamology? What do you do with Slamology?
Well, Donnie came to me. We talked probably about a decade ago about something that we could do on Sundays to keep people interested and just kind of keep the show moving for not only spectators but also participants.
Okay.
And we came up with a vehicle limbo to judge the lowest vehicles. And
I've got an image. Hold on a second. Ernie, can you pull up my images? I want Dave to talk about this when we're looking at it. Oh, okay. We're frozen. I can see Dave. Dave's not frozen, but Aaron is frozen. Dave, are you hearing me?
I am hearing you.
Oh, thank you. Okay. So go ahead and talk about what limbo is, please.
Okay. So we looked at you kind of see it in some of the old movies where just a bunch of people crowded around maybe in a bar or something. And it's just usually kind of like one of those lines where they've got a limbo bar and people just kind of partying and going around in a circle in a line and the bar keeps going lower. And if you hit the bar, you're out. And we thought, let's figure out a way to do that exact thing, but with vehicles. So we get people to line up in their cars, and it's kind of a little party on Sunday afternoon. They just kind of drive through the bar, and we've got some of the latest craze club members that man the bar and we use a padded bar so it won't damage your vehicle in any way.
Sure.
And we start out pretty high, and even Donnie's really high mini truck sneaks into the line, and he makes sure he goes through every year.
I knew you were sneaking out of it. It was going to happen.
So, this is the most obvious question. What's the record for lowest?
We've actually had some supercars go through. We had a Lamborghini go through that was lowered. Okay. And I believe that was the lowest that we've had go through without being I think we had a Jeep last year that had the windshield cut down. So yeah. Believe it or not, guys, there's some bragging rights involved. We've had one mini truck, a guy here from Indiana named Scott Agnew he won the lowest truck 5 years in a row.
Holy cow.
And
what's his formula? What's he do?
He cut all kinds of stuff out of the bottom of that truck.
Okay.
The truck's body dropped, and it's a little Toyota truck. It's already pretty small to begin with, but he has engineered it to be incredibly low. And he's a great sport. He told the guys he was going to take a few years off and see if some other guys could step up their game and see what everybody else is bringing.
He's a good sport. That's great. Thank you for that. So how many cars, trucks, whatever do you get going through this?
We typically have probably 15 or 20. And then we work it down to the lowest car, the lowest truck, and the lowest contraption. And we always get asked what is considered a contraption. And the way we define that is it's anything that you can build that's got wheels and can travel under the bar that has its own motor. We don't want a kid on a skateboard, although we do have kids ask if they can ride their skateboards under the bar, and it's just, we're here for fun. So if they want to do that for fun, that's awesome, and we let them do it. But we've had several full custom Power Wheels go through. We've had some four-wheel bicycles that look like something from the 1800s come through. I'm waiting on somebody to mount some kind of Power Wheels motor to some street luge and bring it through.
Oh, yeah. Street luge. There you are. Oh, hold on a second. Okay.
Man, we got to restart again. Slamology is crushing it.
I'm sorry, Dave.
Guys, I love it. When we say we break the internet, we're not messing around.
Yeah, we broke it.
We broke StreamYard.
Dave, please hold on. We'll be back in just a minute.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Dave, you're there, and we're moving. Yeah. We're live. All right.
We're back.
We're back.
Oh,
hello.
Gosh. All right. Thank you, Dave. Hey, Ernie, can you pull up my assets? I want to show off this truck that Dave was talking about. Is this the one you were talking about?
Yeah, that is it. That's Scott's truck.
So that is the lowest for 5 years in a row.
Yep.
That's impressive.
And when you look at that roof, maybe 35 inches off the ground.
Yeah, that's
look at the guy standing next to you. I mean, it's just barely the top of his belly there.
I was going to say he could rest his belly on the hood. Probably shouldn't. Yeah. Okay. Well, let's take a look at. Oh, there we go. So let's see some more of these. So this is a NSX.
Yep, that's an Acura NSX.
Okay. Yeah, that's pretty low. Of course, we got a
Chevy S10.
S10. That you can't beat the blue one though. That Toyota.
No.
Okay, now what's this? What's going on here?
That's just an old S10. That's just a full custom. It's got custom airbrushing on it, and
Oh wow.
yeah, see the 4-link in the back and the air suspension tanks. And
Yeah.
So
Wow.
this is a crazy audio build in the mini truck world with air suspension, basically, right?
Yeah, and he's about to scrape.
Right.
That's nice.
Yeah. No, it's awesome.
Oh yeah, here we go.
And the same thing again. See the big air tank in the back of it.
Yeah.
So that's the air suspension that holds the suspension to go up and down. And you can see the crowd that it pulls. And
Yeah.
everybody's there on Sunday. And then that big blue and white tent. That's the tattoo contest. So it's
Okay.
all going on kind of at that same time at the main stage on Sunday at the show.
Oh, they're yanking down their windshield. Is that legit? Can you do that?
Dave's the judge. You'd have to talk to Dave about that.
I need a judgment on this, Dave. Can we do that?
We gave him the official side eye, if you will.
I know what that is. My daughter gives me the side eye. I get that. Oh yeah, this is great. Yeah. Oh, that's fun.
And that's another Toyota. Toyotas get really low. And then just some cool photos from the
Oh,
bars.
check that out. Is that the Jeep you talked about?
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow. Okay, that's pretty awesome.
And that one's, I mean, look, guy's weighs 27, 28 inches off the ground for sure.
Wow. So, Ernie, can you give us a question? Maybe Dave can help us out with an answer here. What do we got for a question? Valerie again, what type of motor does the contraption have to have? That's a good question.
Valerie needs a free Slamology hat tonight.
She does.
That's a fantastic question. You can use like an electric motor or a gas powered motor as long as it's not human powered. You can't pedal it, you can't push it, you can't just get a running start and jump on something and ride under the bar. So it can be either an electric like a Power Wheels motor, or I've even seen some guys make little ride-on toys using like DeWalt drill motors even.
Oh yeah.
So any kind of motor, as long as you can get that thing to power its own chassis and the rider under the bar, then you're good to go.
All right. So that's a contraption. It's got to be self-powered, not human-powered. And I guess you
correct.
can't have your husky pull you either. That wouldn't qualify.
No. Well, that's probably something we should touch on. No animals allowed
No animals.
at Slamology. We all have our own pets, but unfortunately, our landlord is NHRA, and them pets and
Yeah.
insurance do not get along.
Well, thank you, Dave. We appreciate your time tonight.
Thanks, Dave.
And your
No
patience.
problem. Thank you,
You're
guys.
wonderful.
Yeah.
Thanks for being here, and we'll see you later.
Yep. Now the next guest.
Next,
This is some amazing stuff. You want to borrow a kicker pin? I got a whole bunch of them given to me tonight. Look at that.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
This is a kicker pen too, but it just hasn't been
That's
used in a while.
fun-sized. I'm compensating.
So, stickers fun size. It's this big. This is not fun. The maxi is fun.
Right.
So why is this fun? This should be the king size is fun.
Right.
That's a whole other show as well.
Yeah.
So Kevin, let's bring in Kevin. Kevin, Mayberry Chrome Shop. Who's Kevin and what are we doing?
So Kevin is from Mayberry Chrome Shop, and Kevin puts together and operates the Mayberry Chrome Shop. What are we calling this thing? I can't believe I'm doing this.
Big Rig Roundup.
There you go, Big Rig Roundup. I'll let you answer it, Kevin. See,
Take it away.
I've been up since 4 this morning, guys. I'm pushing everything I can, and this kicker coffee I ran out of it. We've moved to water. The producers came and said, "No, you're back on water, man." So I've been cut off. So Kevin puts together the Big Rig Roundup, and
Wow.
he's just recently moved to Mayberry Chrome Shop, and they've built this truck that he's going to kind of walk around and show us a little bit about, and he's going to talk about the Big Rig Roundup. So Kevin, it's all you, buddy. Take it from here.
Hey, thanks for having me on. I've been getting a kick out of all the stories, the old car stereo speaker. But anyway, so what we've got, this is a truck that we built. It was built originally in Indiana, and it was redone and here again this winter. And there's been several people have had a hand in building this truck. But as you can see, it's got quite a few custom panels, lights everywhere, and this is just an example of what we'll have at our show. But this truck will actually be at the show as well. Kind of trying to do this and not trip and fall down and crash here. But of course, these trucks have just lights all over the place that turn different colors. And this truck here and trailer is around $1 million.
What?
Total money.
Kind of makes the kicker semi not look so cool anymore, doesn't it? Jeremy, you need a new rig. Go to the boss.
Hey, I've told Jeremy to bring me a truck and we pick it up.
Wow.
I'm sure you have.
But
Can you go back in that cab again real quick? I was so in awe. That is unbelievable. $1 million.
Painted floors. Well, the thing about one of these trucks is this truck is a little over $200,000, or right at $200,000 just to buy the truck, just to get.
Okay.
So that's what really makes the price up and go away, and it's just custom pieces that we've designed. Like you see this lit piece up here in the top.
Yes.
I'll try to swing it around and let everybody see a little bit better. And
wow.
There's 4 12-inch subs in here, and they're on a 12K, and then multiple speakers in the back. Speakers and painted panels all over the front. This dash has been removed and painted, so it's every piece of this interior has been out. And there's pieces that we're actually building here at our chrome shop now, like these door inserts, door handles, these brake pedals. This brake pedal and throttle pedal. That's a one-piece built aluminum pedal that we designed here, and this is just an example of what you'll see at this show. And you're talking about train horns. We got train horns, fellas.
I bet you
I got an
do.
earpiece in, warning.
Yeah.
This is a real deal here.
Wow.
But not only just the interiors of these trucks get a lot of work done on them, but I'm going to swing this around and show you this engine.
Every inch of that truck has been touched.
That's incredible.
That is about a 900 horsepower Cummins diesel engine, and it's a compound turbo setup. And you can see the guys at Semi Casual, the one that did a lot of the engine work, the chrome plating, and a lot of the dress-up kits. There's a lot of Dynaflex products on here. There's multiple manufacturers' products have been on this truck, but all this piping and everything up on the top, extra panels with lights that are down under on the cowl. And then you can even see inside the hood, we designed a hood skin even to go in here, and just so these stripes are continued on the outside of the truck. So I'll swing around here, and you can see.
How many months does it take to build something like this?
Well, this truck here, I think originally when we built it at Davis Brothers, the original work on it was probably about 3 months, something like that. So
how big of a crew working for 3 months, Kevin?
Question.
I guess how many
four
guys
guys
are on?
probably, about 4 guys, and if you start figuring that up at $100 an hour, you can imagine
Yeah.
Right, it's easy to get to $1 million.
It is. It's really easy. But here's just kind of, see if I can swing this around and give you get my camera right. Sorry, fellas. A little bit better shot of the outside of the whole truck. So you can see.
That's just beautiful.
You ready for this, Aaron? They drive that truck to shows.
It's a driver?
It's a driver.
Custom,
they just drove it to Florida 2 weeks ago.
The eye panel underneath there. There's lit panels underneath. And then these T-bars that are all lit up. Here's one that's going to make you fellas go cross-eyed. It's got a chrome drive shaft.
Oh, my God.
Kevin, how many miles did you guys put on it going to Florida and back?
It was around 550 or 600 miles. It was about 10 hours.
Just 2 weeks ago. Right, just 2 weeks ago. And then they're driving it to Slamology with the trailer.
Wow.
If you pull up some of the pictures that you do.
Yeah, I've got some here.
If we can get Ernie
here in a minute.
Do you have the trailer there with you as well?
Yes, I do. And also,
okay.
show you that we're diehard Slam fans.
Oh, very nice.
The car, that's my son's back Jetta that'll be there.
Yes, sir.
And from the old school days, Donnie was talking about his old truck. While I get over to the trailer, I hope to have the 91 Geostorm that I built originally back in fall of 94. My 26-year-old son, that is my engineer here at the shop, he actually rode home from the hospital in that, dude. And we're gonna hopefully have that there. And it's a survivor. I'm not gonna touch the paint. It's set in the garage for 20 years, and we found it, and I'm putting a new motor in it. So I won't bore you with that.
Geostorm. Wow.
Yeah, well, hopefully we'll get that done.
But So here is a little bit of audio in the back of this trailer.
Holy cow.
And it's a driver.
We drive.
This is,
wow.
Yes.
And
here you go.
and here,
Oh my gosh.
there's 16 12-inch subs on 24,000 watts underneath.
That's fantastic.
And then 16 more speakers on the outside, on either side. So
That's
there's
keeping car audio fun right
Oh
there.
my
Yeah.
gosh.
Isn't that
yes.
amazing? That's
Yes.
it is.
over 42,000 watts, all excess power batteries, but you can kind of get a view here of the entire trailer.
Beautiful.
But it's a reefer trailer, so you know it's made to haul like groceries or vegetables or whatever. But here's another truck. Oh, there's my beautiful wife in here too.
She's running away.
She is running away.
She's like, I didn't do my hair. Donnie never said anything about me being on TV.
She probably did not appreciate me doing that at all. But this truck here was originally built for Bill Rethwich, Cummins, Wisconsin. But then PDI got the truck, and this truck back here is a hot rod. It's got about 1,000 horsepower. It's like
Oh my gosh.
a car on the road. It's
That's crazy.
That's amazing.
That's crazy.
I'll take you up and show you the inside just to show you how serious we are about some of this audio.
Hey, Kevin, we gotta cut. We've only got so much time tonight.
Oh,
so
that's fine.
How
But anyway-
about save a lot of this for everybody out at Slamology? And I guess should we answer some questions?
Yeah,
And-
let's.
I
Kevin,
say we've
before
still got a few more guests to go.
Let's take a question before we let go of you.
Uh-huh.
Matt Neely, are those trucks now show only, or do they still go work pulling trailers? Good question.
This truck here is show only. This one in particular, this is our demo vehicle here for the Chrome Shop,
Yeah.
custom truck shop. But we will have trucks there at the show that will be work trucks as well. But
Yeah, if
but
you
they-
pull your photos up, there's quite a few pictures of some work trucks at the show.
Ernie, can you pull up my laptop? We want to show some of these. Oh, photo. Here we go.
yeah, and that's
So-
a good example. That entire line of trucks right there that was at one of our previous shows, it was they're all work trucks.
Yeah, that was Slamology from
Yeah,
last year.
they look clean, but they look usable.
Correct.
Like
And
you
if
can
you
drive it.
scroll through some of the other, like
And,
that one was a work truck as well, wasn't it, Kevin?
Wow.
Top secret truck right there that's had some changes, and you don't know what that one looks like now, and that's fine. But that one's here at the shop. The next on the slate for a incredible sound.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah,
That
this
right there is
painting.
And it pulls a heavy haul stuff, so it works every day pulling big oil field equipment. And
That is beautiful.
Isn't that crazy?
That paint job.
Right.
Holy cow.
But they work every day.
but it's a beautiful truck.
Yeah, there's a good wide shot.
And this is what you expect. Like when you come into the spectator gate at Slamology, this is the very first thing you see as a spectator coming into the show.
Is that a combine on the right
That
hand
is
side?
full-size combine. My buddy Cole Johnson hauled a full-size brand new John Deere combine in there on a trailer. He was just on his way back to the factory.
And it was gorgeous. 0 hours on it. I think it's Indiana, so everybody's as interested in the combine as they are in the semis.
Right.
And
Wow.
guys, those are some Indiana trucks right there. Bob Vogel from VTI there, and he's right in the middle of Indiana. He brought some of his older custom trucks that he had. That one right there just happens to be loaded with kicker equipment.
Yes, it does.
That shows how far down we strip them. We had that dash completely out of that truck, and it was fully built there at Davis Brothers up working before.
Wow, look at that complement of subs.
Yep, 4 L712s, and then several component 6.5s and coaxial 6.5, and it sounded incredible.
So that bed vibrates, so to speak.
Yeah.
Without putting a nickel in the machine.
You don't have to put a quarter in that one. As a matter of fact, it's a double deck bed. See, there's 2 beds in the top.
Look at
one.
that. Yeah.
Double value.
Wow.
That's
And
that box.
There's the picture of the box here in the shop. There's our current crew that we've got right now. We cut up 12 plywood to make that.
Wow. Well, Kevin, thanks for your time tonight. We do appreciate it. And we will look forward to seeing you at Slamology.
We will see you there.
Can't wait to be there, and thank you for letting us on, and I appreciate it.
Good to have you on.
See you, Kevin.
Good
We'll
night.
see you soon, buddy.
Bye.
Thank you.
So our next guest, Mr. Billy Temple.
Yay.
Billy Temple. Base Wars Billy Temple. let's bring Billy on in. Hello, Billy.
Hey,
How are you?
Billy.
Welcome.
Hey, Billy. How are you doing,
all
man?
right?
Man,
Yeah.
last time I saw you was digital. Like we need to like meet in person
Yeah.
and have some of the Stillwater coffee together.
Right. I've heard about that coffee.
Yeah, believe the hype. It's all that.
So, Billy, earlier I kind of alluded to one of the things that has made you so successful in the sound off arena is that you have brought some new people and some fun into Bass Wars. How did you do that? Why did you do that?
Man, I'm a laid back guy, and Bass Wars just kind of blossomed from that. We don't have a lot of rules. I don't think I should tell you how you should build your vehicle. And so we go from there, and it's just a laid back organization, and it's just fun.
So you're basically welcoming anybody with any system to come
Right.
on in and tune it, test it, bang it, show it off.
Do whatever they like.
Right. This is going to be great for the car show guys that are.
Yeah.
They don't understand the hardcore competition like in the Mecca lanes or in the Isaki lanes. They don't get it.
Concrete
Well, it's not that they
doors.
don't get it. It's that when those guys are here in Indy, they're here to compete, and they're
Right.
I mean
right.
they're
they're focused.
They're competing
Yeah.
for triple points, and you get to the Iasca lane, and those guys are 3 points. They're here.
Yeah.
They're all trying to qualify for finals.
Yeah.
And that's where Billy is the perfect combination for what we're doing at Slamology is. Guy with an S10 that's got two 12s in it and a kicker amp, and he's like, I don't know what my car does. I don't know whatever.
Right.
Man, go hop over into Bass Wars, and it doesn't mean you have to compete, but you can run through the lanes, and you can give those guys the time to educate you and let you know what your vehicle is. And I know Billy, like if he sees something that's going to be like, man, you should really be competing in some of the other organizations too. He's going to send them down their way. I mean, it's kind of the beauty of Slamology is we're all one big family there of organizations spreading the love back and forth. And Billy's org is going to be the perfect place for everybody to start.
Yeah, we have a lot of new people in our org, new competitors, if you will.
Yes. Yeah. So if I'm a new guy and what can I expect going to Slamology and I'm checking out Bass Wars and I want to run, but what can I expect?
You can expect somebody to walk up to you and make you feel at home, right? And then we'll discuss classes and how we do things, right? We'll class you, put you in a class, and then you go up to that line. There'll be somebody there telling you where to put the meter if you want. Or if you're experienced, we're going to hand you the meter and say, do what you do. You know, you do you, right? It's just
so
that.
explain that, Billy, like about how the meter is in your organization compared to some of the other ones. It's kind of a place it where you want it type situation, right?
So in Bass Wars, we really have only one rule, and that rule is you place the sensor anywhere in front of the front seat location. That means if you want to take your front seat out, do it. But you got to put the meter somewhere in front of where it would have been. And that's so you're not playing port wars when somebody else is playing, regular, scoring or whatnot. So that's pretty much our only rule.
So you keep it fair, but you keep it fun.
Yeah. I don't think that if your car is loudest at the mirror, I think you should be able to not have to put it in the kick. If somebody's loudest in the kick, but you're loudest in the mirror, you put it where you're the loudest.
Yeah.
You know,
right? Just anywhere in front of the front seat, like
that's cool.
Right. I like the concept. I think.
And so we have other things, other orgs. Like if you're an inch above a window line or something like that, you're in like some kind of extreme class. You know, to us, a wall is a paneled wall. Your speakers could be inverted and touch the ceiling, but that's not a wall. So we don't classify it as a wall. So, we're just real, we're not liberals, but we're liberal with the rules. Right?
Everything's got to be politics, man.
Hold on a second. We're not
right.
It is Indiana.
That's good stuff.
So we try to just have fun. That's legit truth. We just want to have fun. And if I see you doing something and I think I can get you louder, I'm going to come out from behind that table and change something for you and try to get you louder. We want your loudest score that you can get.
That's great.
And we'll do it for anybody, not just pick and choose whoever.
Yeah.
I want the loudest score. And many people have their loudest scores with us.
We've got some guys and girls that have questions for us, Billy. So let's pop up a question. Matt asks, I'm running two 10-inch subs on 1100 watts. That's a lot of power. What class would I be in?
Depends. So let me explain on how we class you, okay? We go by cone area plus port area. You add those two together, and that gives you a number. And then that number it correlates to a class. That class right there, depending on the port size, could be our stealth class, okay?
Okay.
So that's where he would fit in it. But it also depends on, we got no wall classes, we have trunk classes, we got just walled off open classes, if you will. But then we have a whole bunch of classes that is just like if you were to walk into a gas station and you want to choose between a candy bar, right? Yeah. So you just get to choose those. We have one side of the score sheet to where you pick your system puts you in that class. The other side is just candy for you to pick and choose from to have fun.
Okay. So you could be in two classes.
Yeah. One side, that's the workhorse, if you will, the meat, the competitive stuff. The other side is the fun stuff for like the demo guys, and that kind of thing.
Let's take one more question, and then we'll move on to our next guest. Billy, what do we got? Next question. Oh, never mind, Billy. We don't have another question for you. I apologize. I misunderstood.
Right, that's okay.
So,
I got a question for you, Billy. Are you staying at the Host Hotel at Slamology? Did you get your hotel?
I haven't figured that out yet.
You need to get that figured out.
Right.
You need to be at the Host Hotel, and that's something I haven't touched on earlier. We have a second, so Friday night we're gonna have a huge party at the Host Hotel, and Saturday night we got live DJs. A lot of the guys from the main stage are gonna come out, and we actually are taking the entire parking lot at the Wyndham Hotel there, and it's on Slamology.com, the Host Hotel, and we're gonna have after-hour parties and do all that stuff. So. Get your hotel room booked already. I think I said that. I think I said that to you the last time we were online.
Yeah, I am coming to meet people and to network.
Network.
That's what I'm coming for. Right.
Well, come on, get your room reserved at the Host Hotel, and everybody else as well. The general block may be filled up by now, but
I'm
I think you have
told
a
me
different
that.
code.
I thought that it was probably filled.
Yeah, no. So yeah, just make sure you guys get that, and then for the local people that are watching, Friday and Saturday night, come out to the Host Hotel and check it out. A lot of the show cars are going to be there. We're going to have security for all the guys that are there.
Nice.
It's going to be a cool open environment till about 11 p.m. and then the hotel has amazing bar, restaurant, everything else for everybody.
And all the cool people hang out there.
All the cool people are going to hang out there.
There is a question.
Billy should be one of those cool guys hanging out there. So come and get Billy's signature.
I feel a little pressure on Billy.
Billy, come give us signatures.
There is a question for you, Billy. How is the meter mounted? Is it a stand or a suction cup?
So I have some suction cups laying on the table. If you wish to use them, you can. If not, we normally keep them off and you tuck it where you like. We do not use a globe. If you have a globe, you can use it. If you have a Donald Duck doll, you can use it, right?
Okay. All right, but so you've got something there they can use if they need your help.
If they need the suction cups, we have them. Most people tuck them up in the kick panel and they don't need them.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Billy. Appreciate your time tonight.
I appreciate you guys
and your patience.
Yeah, thank you, Billy. Hey, we'll see you here in 30 days, man.
Yes, sir.
Hey, have a good one.
All right, we got 2 more guests and only a few more minutes.
Hey, this is perfect.
You bring in Rob.
So
you know Rob.
Rob Snodgrass. Double O. That's my nickname for Rob. Rob.
Welcome, Rob.
So I'm going to tell a quick story about Rob and let you know how he became part of our family. We hired the very first Slamology. We had Marion County Fairgrounds, small fairgrounds. Wanted to have a band on stage, and we had PA, blah, 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 blah. Rob had a company at that time, SCG Entertainment. I don't even think it was SCG at that time, was it? What was it called?
No,
it was
whatever.
Name doesn't matter anymore. So Rob, we hired his company, and we do a deal with the bands and the entertainers that play. We do a ticket split, blah, 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 so everybody can make a little bit of money. So Rob, as the entertainment guy, I hand him 500 tickets.
Okay.
Perfect, right? And he's going to sell them, and then we're going to do our ticket split. And before the first band comes on, Madness, first annual show, crazy, crazy, crazy. So my father-in-law, who ran the Spectator Gate for years and years and years, he's like, man, people are showing up here with all these tickets. They're buying their tickets at the corner.
Okay.
And I'm like, what?
Like a scalper would sell them.
Rob took his tickets and started scalping them.
No.
Listen, he's going to blame it on one of his own partners.
That was Marcus.
It gets better. So either way, my original 4 that I had hired, they're all fire him. And I was like, we're not firing him.
He's genius.
He's genius. We need this kid on our staff. He needs to work for us.
Yes.
And here Rob and I are 19 years later.
19 years.
Best of friends. I spend hours at his house every week fishing, and we're best of friends for the last 19 years. So
that's great.
It's pretty cool. It's something that was really a negative, and he was young and full of fire, so it was perfect. And he's got more gray hair than all of us now, man. He sprayed that stuff tonight. Don't let him fool you.
Shave it down.
Right. So Rob's still to this day our entertainment director and stage director. He is the voice of Slamology. He's on all the ads, all the YouTube ads, all the video ads, everywhere that you hear something Slamology, it's Rob's voice and doing the stuff. And then all weekend long, he is the voice of Slamology. So he's everything from the first time that the needle hits, on the DJ stand, from there, all the way till the end of the show. He does the awards all the way up to the audio awards. And heck, he's even stepped in and helped those guys out a few times as well. So
you're the talker.
Rob is the talker. So Rob's going to talk about the main stage tonight and some of the entertainments that's coming. Then he's going to introduce our Saturday headliner, which we're ecstatic about. This man has had more opportunities than most Indiana musicians have had, so it's going to be interesting to get to meet him as well.
Yeah, so
All
I'm
right.
excited. Thank you.
Take it.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. Best of friends for sure, Donnie. 19 years running. Collectively, we've had over 300 bands on the main stage over 19 years.
Yeah.
I mean, that first year that we were involved, Donnie gave me 30 days, and I had like 32 bands on the main stage. It was insane. I booked all that action that quick and got them onto the main stage. So this year, we always do, like he said earlier in the program, an Indiana musicians, Indiana music vibe. Like, we bring in a global audience to Slamology from all over the country and internationally. So what we like to do is showcase what Indiana music's about. And Indiana music isn't country, which one would think. It isn't. It isn't hip hop. It isn't rock. It isn't house techno. It's all of that. Like, our music scene in Indiana, in Indianapolis, it thrives, and we are just trying to showcase that talent to the next level, so the musicians here can take that step up. So
we've got some
this
pictures. Hey, Ernie, can you show some pictures while Rob is talking, please?
Yeah, you just keep talking, Rob. We'll go
so
through
that's
some pictures.
Shawnee D. That's one of the other guys. I think he's missed one show, 1 or 2 shows out of 19 years with us. He's he's on staff now. He works with us. Shawnee's one great guy. We've got some DJs coming out of South Bend, DJ Grind and AK Exclusive.
Go to the next one.
It's actually a father-son combination that are coming down. DJ Irrelevant, DJ Fury. We have a great rock band, pretty new to the scene, called Moose Tooth Effect. Yeah, I love the name. The name got me, and I was like, Moose Tooth is on. And then DJ Mays, he's not in Indiana, but DJ Mays is one of those guys that really brings the automotive scene together with music across the country. He travels the circuit. He also is one amazing guy. He puts on his own show called Relaxing in the Park. But our big push here this year is a rock band on Sunday night, our headliner, Trial by Fury. Or Trial by Fire. I'm sorry. I get Fire and Fury. DJ Fury is also on performing as well on Sunday. But then we also have Uriah G. And this guy, he's just been a real big house music kind of guy. Always in the scene, always pushing the clubs, always pushing the techno, the EDM, the house, the drum and bass. Just any of that music. He's an amazing kid, and he's doing so much downtown Indianapolis right now. He's just blowing that scene up right now. He's got his own company called Uriah G Presents, but we actually have Uriah G and Slamology is presenting him. And then lastly, guys, I'm so excited to have this young man. When Snoop Dogg introduces you on NBC in America's Song Contest, and you are representing the state of Indiana, you better believe that your butt is going to be the headliner for that for Slamology. So UG Skywalking is he's he's an amazing talent. He represented Indiana's music scene and the hip hop scene. But him and another cohort with him his name is Maxie. I don't know if Maxie's going to be there, but Maxie's been with him everywhere, so I have a good feeling Maxie is going to be there with
Rob,
UG Skywalking this year. Yeah,
I got to interrupt you because he's waiting very patiently to be brought on. We're going to bring him on. So bring him on, please.
Hey,
he is.
That's the man right there.
There he is.
Nice to meet you guys. I'm very blessed to be on here. I really like the car culture, and it's just dope to be a part of something that I've never really experienced before like this. Kind of like the show.
Yeah, well we're excited.
Here.
Yeah, thanks for not only being on here, but for being at Slamology. It's gonna. Yeah. You represent Indiana music, and that means the world to us.
Is he the most famous guy we ever had on Unmasked? Maybe.
He's the first NBC guy, I think. He's the first guy to hang out with Snoop Dogg.
Yeah,
Even I've been trying for 30 years to do that. I almost got backstage one time.
That's great.
That's what's up, man. Thank you so much.
Tell us about your experience, man.
Yeah, tell us.
It was a great experience because, I mean, it started over in Europe. It was like a Eurovision. It was a big show. It was like one of the number one shows out there. So they brought it over to the States, and, they made it, it was all the states in the U.S., and then they had 6 overseas, like the Virgin Islands, or they had Hawaii. They had some, I don't know them all, but basically, I got to represent Indiana. So out of the, the whole state, I got to be a hip hop represent. I got to represent hip hop on that show, and it was just, it was bigger than the Grammys. Like it was. It was
the level of the production was amazing. I mean,
for sure.
Yeah.
I've watched the YouTube video multiple times. It's amazing.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah.
Gained great friends. Great relationships, just alone the exposure, because I was on the first show, so like that show obviously it did like 4 million viewers the first.
Oh my goodness!
Wow!
right.
Wow!
And anytime that somebody is doing something like that from Indiana, UG, you and I have talked many times. The level that you reached in such a quick way of getting there, like. Your base grew, your name grew. I mean, tell the viewers like where they can find you, the meaning behind your name. What does the UG mean? Tell us a little bit about that, and then where the viewers can find you. And then obviously you're the headliner at Slam, so we're excited.
Cat's out of the bag.
Yeah. So UG comes from. I'm originally born in East Africa. I'm from Uganda. Uganda. So I was born in the city of Kampala. So UG stands for Uganda, So I was born there. That I moved here when I was about 8, but Indiana raised me. But I'm still from East Africa. So
yeah.
Right now, do you still have family in Uganda?
All my family is in Uganda.
How cool!
All my family's there. Actually, my mom's part of the royal family, so my uncle's the king of Uganda.
Oh, wow, that's fantastic.
Well, bring that private plane on over to Slamology and let them see what Indiana music's about.
Yeah. Fly them in.
So
they'll have their own planes.
It was a great experience, honestly. Like I mean, doing that show alone, actually, I got so many fans now in Uganda that they're watching the show and hit me up like, hey, man, it's crazy seeing somebody from where we're at, born where we're at, on a national stage like that. So I'm getting a lot of, overseas. I'm getting a lot of, African fans and just the music.
Tour.
Yeah. So it's just getting out there. So really, that show was a blessing. Everybody on that show, you didn't have to win the show to get recognized. Everybody won because you was on NBC. Yeah,
absolutely.
So it worked out.
So, what's the skywalking? Talk about skywalking.
Skywalking is like it's just a lifestyle. It's kind of like living above everything. Just kind of, we don't look back at what we messed up on. We look forward. We just live above everything. It's kind of like, it's just a lifestyle. So that's all it is. It's a lifestyle. Skywalking is just living above all the BS. Just
the Uganda lifestyle.
That's
I like it.
great.
Yeah, no, I love it, man.
Above the rest. There's so many of us, especially post-COVID, that we all have to learn to live above. I mean, I think that's right. That probably might be the old man and me coming out talking again, but that's we all got to look at. We can't focus on the past. We got to go on with the future.
Where can everybody find you at there?
Everybody, know. UG, just UG Skywalking. It's just a UG, and then SKYWALKIN. No G. So you can just Google that, Instagram that, Facebook that. It's pretty simple. Just the name alone, and then you'll find me for sure.
I'm gonna give you one last funny story here, guys. Is that UG actually lives about 4 minutes down the road from me.
and he didn't know that until like a couple weeks ago.
We had no clue until we talked, like maybe last week. I think we talked, and he's like, "Yeah, I live down right here." I was like, "Oh my gosh!" Like, come over here and come fishing. Let's spend some time together.
I tell people the world is a lot bigger than you think until you start meeting people.
Right. Yeah. That's good words. That's good words.
Great.
That is really good words.
Well, gentlemen, thank you for being here tonight.
Thank you, guys.
We appreciate it. It's very nice to meet you. Thanks for gracing Kicker Unmasked with your royal family. That's a nice plug right there.
That's some of the trophies right there that we give out for the best of.
Yeah.
Very nice.
All custom built with aluminum.
Custom.
Are we gonna have a whole bunch like the kicker speed? Are we gonna be able to listen to the best sound system from kicker out there?
Yes, UG.
UG, you better come to the show early because it's gonna blow your mind, my friend.
We're gonna drop some on you, so you'll appreciate it, and we'll love to have you there, man. That'd be great.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Come by the kicker semi for some pictures and. Get your head rattled in the, what do you guys call it, the boom room?
We got the boom room.
The boom room,
Basically, we close the door and we give you some hearing protection, and then we turn it on.
You'll feel
it's a pressure chamber.
In your soul. You'll feel it in your soul.
Right. Yeah. And if not after that, there's a couple other demo vehicles out there that'll you'll be tapping on the dash, man. You'll want out of there. You'll be like, I'm done.
I can't wait.
Yeah, we can't wait to have you.
All right, guys. Awesome. Thank you so much for being here tonight.
Thanks, Rob. Thanks to you.
We'll catch you at Slamology.
See you guys.
And just before we wrap up, you have any last thoughts or things we should talk about?
Giveaways.
Oh, wait, I didn't give anything away.
We haven't given anything away. Some cool stuff we're going to have at Slamology. Some backpacks. We're going to give away a backpack tonight. We're going to give away some hats. We're going to give away more of these hats, those hats, sticker packs. I think we've got a whole kicker Slamology packet kind of going together.
So now hold on a second, because I was talking about the stuff we normally give away. So you're talking about giving away more stuff.
Oh, we're giving away it all. Let's go.
So Donnie's going to give away more stuff. Okay,
and tickets. We're going to give away spectator tickets. We're going to give away all kinds of fun stuff.
Bill, are we ready to give away more stuff? Do we got to prepare for this? Donnie's throwing a monkey wrench at me. Nah? Okay, Bill says nah. Okay, so we're going to give your stuff away. We're going to give it away. But you can't win it tonight.
No, sir.
Okay, so we're going to have to build a contest around this because you're talking, you said 2 tickets?
Yeah, we'll give a couple tickets away, and then I think we're doing 3 prize packs, right?
3 prize. So you're going to give away 3 separate packages.
Correct.
Okay, what's in the package? Tell us what's in the package.
Let me see. What were we doing tonight?
So you're gonna.
We're doing hats.
You get a hat.
We're doing a hat, a sticker pack, a backpack, and a weekend pass to two weekend passes to Slamology. So I think in the green room we had a hard time figuring out exactly how we were going to say that. So one for you and your guest for Saturday and Sunday. That's right. So all weekend passes. We're going to keep the sun out of your hair with some with some of the big Slam hats that are all custom made. These are pretty cool. We had these straw hats made from our friends over at SA Wear. So neat stuff there, and some ball caps and some backpacks to carry all your stuff around at the show. And you can get one of the show shirts, which I do want to release before we get off there.
Do we have one here?
You have the file on your.
I've got artwork.
Yes, on the artwork. We've been holding releasing the 2022 Slamology artwork.
Oh yes. Now tell us what's special about this, because you said these things sell out every year.
These things sell out every year. So I guess Ernie's going to have to turn
Ernie,
on your.
Can you pull this up?
Yeah. So. This is our design for 2022, and obviously there's a front side that'll have all the sponsors. It'll have Sky High, Kicker, everybody that's the major sponsors, and then everybody that sponsors all the way down. But what we do is we do 2,000 T-shirts every single year. First come, first serve. They're size small through 5XL. So
wow.
Right. So the guys that come on Friday and get their stuff for their speed passes for Saturday, make sure you stop at the T-shirt booth, because normally noon, 1 o'clock on Saturday, we're out of T-shirts and we're out of other merchandise. So,
and the size you want is going to run out if you don't get there quick.
Correct. So, so as a participant, get there on Friday, get your vehicle registered, get all of your credentials for your speed pass, so you can just come around to the back gate and you can roll right into the show Saturday morning. You won't have to sit in line.
No hassle.
Now you'll have to sit in line a little bit on Friday, which last year we had kind of a little bit of a mess. We had a fire marshal issue, and then we had some internet issues, but we're working past all that this year. So come back out on Friday. We're cleaning up the mess. We got bombarded with 1,000 people about the same time last year, and it caused about a 2-hour backup. And
kind of like what we had challenges today.
Oh yeah,
shut down and reboot.
And we had a fire marshal that didn't want to open the show because we didn't have a lighted sign on a 4-sided open 10 by 10 tent.
Did you let him in for free?
Yeah, we tried. There was nothing we could do. There was nothing we could do outside of stick glow sticks and an exit sign. So either way, we got the show open and it's all good.
So stay tuned. I'm going to say probably Thursday of this week, you'll be able to register to win these 3. We're going to do 3 Grand Slam packages for Slamology. So stay tuned on Thursday. Check out our Facebook and our YouTube, and we'll have more information for you on winning those. But for tonight, the folks that are winning, can we give us the 3rd place winner for tonight? Can you pop that up on the screen? Want to give away winner number 3, Todd R. from Tennessee. Todd, you are winner number 3. You get the EB 400 in-ears, you get the koozie, and of course you get the UnMasked t-shirt. Let's go to winner number 2. Who's number 2? Winner 2 is Jim G. from Michigan. Jim, you also are going to go home with a t-shirt. Well, not home, you're already home.
You're already home, right?
You're going to receive a t-shirt and a koozie, and of course you're going to get the Tabor 2 headphones. So great music for your head. And first place winner, who's number 1 tonight? First place is James J. from Texas. James J., you get the Cush NC and the koozie and the t-shirt. So there's our 3 winners. Thank you guys for competing and winning tonight. And again, check in on Thursday, because we're going to give away the rest of this Grand Slam Slamology gifts on Thursday, or at least we're going to tell you how to win, how to register.
Tell you when, how to register.
And we'll give you a week or 2 to I hope I'm not making stuff up, but we should be giving you at least a week.
You'll have time to get it to get to the show, and then, then you'll be able to come to the show and show up and give your name and get in the gate. It'll be fun. It'll be great.
Be sure to like us on YouTube and Facebook, and thank again for being here tonight and for your patience with those glitches. Donnie, it's been a pleasure tonight. You're awesome. Your son is great.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys having us, the hospitality.
Except the forks.
Plastic forks in the coffee,
no
man.
more plastic forks.
Right.
All right, good night, friends and family.
Hey,
we'll see you next time.
See you guys in Slamology.